Hello, my name is Cara Thornley, and I was the director of the Atlanta Shambhala Center when the land was purchased. And Sally Larrick and Dan Phillips have asked me to say a few words about the purchase of the land. The need for it to be purchased was because Betsy Berman, who had been generously subletting space to us, had to let go of her lease, and therefore we had to find another place to be. And it was a consensus of the community that we should buy and not rent. So we looked primarily around the Decatur area, and we found this piece of land, which we decided to buy because of its accessibility to the street and its potential for development. And then the next step, of course, was to raise the money. We had to raise a down payment of something like $100,000, maybe $125,000. At that time, the Shambhala International was owning all the property that local centers bought. It was bought in their name. And I remember the bank saying, you know, we need a big deposit, because if you guys default, we would have to go to Canada to collect our money. So that was as it was. But we had some very generous donors step forth. One of whom was John Probst. He used to live in Atlanta, then he moved to Jacksonville, and he sent us the first check for the fundraising for the land, and that check was in the amount of $10,000. And I remember thinking, we're going to be able to do this. So another person who stands out in terms of their generosity was Emmett Culpepper, who gave every last dime, I think, of his personal savings. He was not a wealthy person, but he was certainly committed to the notion of this land. Both John and Probst and Emmett are now deceased. And of course, everybody else in your generous Sangha contributed too. So finally, I wanted to say something about the Green Dragon. Harry Tate was the person who personally bought the Green Dragon when it came up for sale and held it so that the Atlanta Shambhala Center could later buy it back from him. But that was a visionary thing to do because it protected the land. It protected the boundary of the Atlanta Shambhala Center's land. So that, in brief, is a synopsis of how the land was acquired. Have a great harvest of peace.